Hello, everyone, and welcome. This is Dr. Garcia, and today I'm going to talk about tips on how to prevent your adolescent or son to engage in risk behaviors. However, first, I just wanted to say a caveat that most adolescents engage in some kind of risk behaviors. The whole purpose of this video and my recommendations is to diminish the risk behaviors that they might engage with, or to at least know what to do in the moment when you find out and have a plan about it. So it's a normal part of their development as an adolescent. There's a lot of information out there that can explain some of the seeking out behaviors, in particular their brain development that goes on during adolescence, and they're seeking thrills and fun. There's a lot of explanations for that. So one of the things is to have that as a given. They will make mistakes. We all do. We're still adults. I still make mistakes, and they're still learning. Their brain is still developing into what an adult brain would look like. So a lot of those executive functioning, and specifically their abilities to problem solve and to plan ahead and to really think things through, is still developing. So just be mindful of that. But these tips overall hopefully would help to decrease the risk behaviors or diminish the impact of them in themselves, but also in others, because they also put others in risk as well. So let's start with the first one. The first one would be to establish a great communication and relationship with them from the get-go. There's another video that you can look and that I did several weeks ago about that, and those are very simple tips on how to improve that communication/relationship with your adolescent daughter or son. But I cannot stress enough about the importance of establishing that from the get-go, from early on, since they're toddlers, children, and growing up all the way to adolescent. So that's the first one. The second one is to have them involved in some kind of extracurricular activity. That's another one that I cannot stress enough. It's so important for them to be involved in something that they like and that they're being good at it or succeeding, or even if they're not being good at it, so they can learn all these skills that are learned through sports and different extracurricular activity. For example, collaboration, putting themselves out there, taking healthy risk, and succeeding or trying out things is really important. It's usually very good for self-confidence and to boost self-esteem. And also that keeps them safe from the third tip that I'm going to talk, because the importance of monitoring them. Most of the behaviors of the risk behaviors occur during times that they're not being monitored, usually after school, when parents are usually at work and they are either supposed to be at their house or somewhere else that they are not getting or being monitored. So that's really important. Know where your kids are, know what they're doing if they're home and you're still at work. Always keep monitoring them. The fourth one is establish clear house rules and the expectations or the consequence when they do not do these rules, like they break these rules. It's really important for them to be clear about that, because a lot of times it happens from misinformation, miscommunication. And the other importance, if you're parenting with a partner, with your spouse or with someone else, just really important for both of you to be on the same page as well about what are the clear house rules and what are the expectations for your adolescent and what would happen if they break them, because most times they know who to call to get away with it. So that's another really important one. And about this, I just want to say something else really important, that a lot of the families that I work with, they sometimes provide a type of consequence that I think it's too extreme for the behavior. For example, they had a low grade and they're punished for a whole month. That, from my perspective, it's kind of an exaggerated punishment, because then a lot of times the adolescent then think, oh, I had a B and I was punished for a whole month, so if I run away and get drunk, what else could happen? I mean, I've already been punished for a whole month. So try to be considerate about it, because you don't want to create a situation that your adolescent daughter or son feels that they can do anything because they are okay with the punishment or the consequence that you give. So be very mindful about that. The other one, yeah, that's actually the fifth. I just discussed it, is be mindful of the consequence and punishment to be congruent with their misbehavior. So let's go to the sixth one, which is to really know them. Really know them, really know what they like, what they dislike. Know their friends. This is a big one. A lot of the risk behaviors, they don't do it on their own. They're usually done in groups. So know them, know your friends. A lot of families don't like their children's or their adolescents' friends. So my recommendation for that is keep your enemies close. And it's important to have that because when I did my research for my dissertation about risk factors, something that I was reading in the literature was about how some adolescents that engage in risk behaviors, if they have a friend that their friend had a good relationship with the parent interaction with them, if it was a good one, and giving them recommendations and hearing them, that in itself became a protective factor because they felt that somebody cared about them. So know your adolescents' friends, have them over, keep them closer, have dinner with them, and that way you can show respect, and that usually helps a lot. The other thing is know their school. A lot of the adolescents that I used to work with, or when I was going at the school, you'll be really surprised how the school tried to contact the parents. There either was a number that was no longer in use, or some adolescents put a different number in the school, even though, yeah, this is something that is not supposed to happen, but I still had some that they were able to do that and trick the school. So the school sometimes try to communicate with the parents, and the parents are nowhere to be found. So I would say be proactive. Go to those evenings that the school have the meetings with the teacher. Try to, like, every now and then go there and try to talk with the school counselor or their teachers and try to know what's going on at school. This usually is really helpful because this goes to actually my eighth tip, but I'll discuss it now, which is about recognize the signs of any kind of mental health or engaging in substance abuse. And usually these changes occur at school. Usually their grades drop significantly, or there's a significant change in behavior. For example, they're extra tired, they're not waking up in the morning how they used to, or they go into bed really, really late, or their mood significantly changed. And when I say significantly, just know that it's very normal for adolescents to go through those mood swings that parents kind of hate, and a lot of times remind them of when their kids were 2-year-old, 3-year-old. So just know that part of it is normal, but if it starts to get very significant and different, know that that usually is a sign of something is going on. Also, by knowing the school, then you can also kind of be monitoring if there's anything going on in school, like bullying and any of these other things that a lot of adolescents don't feel comfortable to talk with their parents. And the last one would be to connect your adolescent with a mentor or a mentor-like. For example, a lot of times when they're engaged in extracurricular activities, a coach becomes a kind of a friend or kind of a mentor. On other occasions, there are family members that can take on this role. And I remember I had an aunt that I was really close when I was growing up, and she was the youngest, and I felt that we were closer in age, and I could talk to her, and she was not judging. So finding someone, and it's not necessarily your role to do this, but maybe try to encourage it for your adolescent, to have someone, an adult, a healthy adult model that they can look up to and communicate with. So those are all my tips. I'm just looking really quick to see if I got them all. Yes, I did. And if you have any question, just shoot me a Facebook message or get a hold of me through my contact information, which my phone number is 310-592-5333, 310-592-5333, or through my email right here in the website. Looking forward to speak with you, and take a good care of yourself, and have a great week.